All right, I want to start this lesson by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikahakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men of great millstone that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Salutations out there to the elect. All right, I want to do a quick lesson starting in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9. Let's start at verse 1. All right, it says, and he answered me then and said, now this is talking about when the angel Uriel spoke to Ezra. You know Ezra in the Bible, which Esdras is Ezra. So when the angel Uriel spoke to Ezra, he told Ezra, he said, measure thou the times diligently in itself. Measure thou the times diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, you see, because the angel Uriel was telling Ezra about what would happen in the end times. And Ezra, he inquired a lot. You know, if you go back and read 2nd Esdras chapter 8, 7, you know, the previous chapters, Ezra was asking a lot of questions. He wanted to know a lot of things, you see. He wanted to know what would happen in the latter days. All right, and it says, the angel, let's read it again. And the angel told Ezra, measure thou the times diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, you see, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, you see. So the Most High is, you know, winding down the times that he's going to send his son back. You see, he's shortening the days that he's going to send his son, Yahweh Shai, back to save, you know, his people, the elect remnant, from the destruction, and from the so-called white man, who's known as death in hell. He's also known as Satan, the dragon. You see, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. You see, now let's give you an example of one of these prophecies, which I'm going to give you an example of the uproars of the people in the world. Let's give an example of that. You see, and this is one of the end time signs that means that we're getting close to the end of Esau's rulership. Salakia, I had to sneeze. Salakia. All right, the video right here, it says Detroit and other U.S. cities erupt in protest over ICE shooting in Minnesota. If you have been paying attention to the news, there was a shooting that happened in Minnesota. A woman was shot, fatally shot by some ICE agents, and it's reaching, or it reached international news. So let's play the video. Salakia.
Friends and community members are getting together in South Minneapolis to remember Renee Nicole Good, who was fatally shot by an ICE agent during a federal immigration operation. That operation ending with two very different versions of what led up to that shooting. ICE calls it self-defense.
They calls it self-defense.
Calls it reckless abuse of power. Good evening, everybody. I'm Uproars. We begin tonight with video from the scene and a warning for you. It is graphic.
No! No!
37-year-old Renee Nicole Good was shot in front of a family member in a snowy residential neighborhood south of the downtown there. Homeland Security officials say she tried to run over the Ram ICE officers with her vehicle, calling it an act of domestic terrorism. But witnesses say that's not what they saw. Here's how some of them describe what happened.
I watched as a third person in full camo come and pull several times on the door handle, at which point the red vehicle reversed a few feet and started driving around, and the person who was by the driver's outside, originally not the man who pulled on the door, but who was originally there, shot through the driver's side window 3 times.
And there was a maroon Honda kind of sideways in the road, and people were shouting move your car, you're obstructing the road. And the car began to back up and then pull forward at maybe 2 miles an hour. And then someone started to shout, "No, no." And then a moment later, 4 or 5 shots were fired into the vehicle. And at that point, I believe the person's foot hit the gas pedal pretty hard, and then it crashed into the nearest car on the opposite side of the street.
I saw the car parked in the road, and then a bunch of ICE agents walking up, screaming at her to move. And then when she backed up and then started to turn away to move and to get out of their way, then one of the guys jumped in front of the car. Another guy tried to rip the door open, and then someone yelled "stop," and then I heard gunshots.
Well, as you know, the shooting has sparked intense outrage. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey not holding back. In a profanity-laced press conference, he called the shooting reckless and demanded that ICE leave town.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get out of Minneapolis.
And Minnesota Governor Tim Walz echoing the sentiment of the Minneapolis mayor, saying today recklessness costs someone their life.
Minnesotans, I say this, I feel your anger. I'm angry. We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough.
Walz says he reached out to Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and is now waiting to hear back. More than 2,000 officers have been deployed in the Twin Cities from ICE as part of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. This case is sparking outrage across the country. A crowd tonight pouring into downtown Detroit to protest. Let's get live. Fox's Lauren Edwards. She's there now where all of these protests happen. She spoke to the organizers, and Lauren, I'm sure they had a lot to say.
Oh, absolutely, Ruth. You know, before any of this happened, I just took a quick look at the map. Just wanted to see how far Minneapolis is away from here. And it's about 10 hours and 27 minutes. And even though the tragedy happened over there, it was definitely felt here. Many saying that it's the reason why they gathered and protested in the area behind us. Take a quick listen to just some of the chanting.
No ban, no wall, sanctuary for all. No ban, no wall, sanctuary for all.
Now, as you're looking at right now, dozens of dozens of Detroiters in front of the ICE building on Michigan Avenue in the downtown area, protesting that fatal shooting of Renee Good up in Minneapolis. And as Minnesotans took to the streets, so did Detroiters marching and chanting through the downtown area as well. And the protest was organized by Comité de Acción Comunitaria, which is also known as Detroit Community Action Committee. And we spoke with the lead organizer. Her name is Cassandra Rodriguez, and she says the shooting was an absolute abuse of power.
I hate that this is happening, and I think I can speak for a lot of us when I say I'm angry. This shouldn't be happening, and I think a lot of us have been out in the streets protesting stuff like this before, and it's not surprising to us, but it's always devastating. We will continue to fight for better change, for accountability in our cities. I think this is something that should never be happening and is completely unacceptable. And I think it's up to our local governments to really take a hard stance against something like this and not allow ICE to just do whatever they want in our neighborhoods.
All right.
Your car insurance company.
As you can see, there are uproars of the people that are going on in the world, as stated in Bible prophecy. So we're getting closer and closer to the end of Esau's world, or the end of this first earth age, where he will be ruling. like the scripture says. It's like, yeah.
Legal rights that the woman had for even just.
Like the scriptures say, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. As a matter of fact, let's go back to 2nd Esdras. Salakia, bear with me. All right, this is 2nd Esdras. Let's continue to read. All right. All right. Verse 5, it says, for like as all in the world is, it says, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, so even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the endings and effects and signs, like uproars of the people. Verse 7, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith wherein he have believed. And that's talking about the remnant, the elect. The Lord is going to save the elect. But as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to the end. Prophecy is being fulfilled. You see?
Being there and others there too. We're going to get into all that again up on the edge. For now, reporting live here in downtown Detroit, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, I know there's been so much concern across the country about ICE agents kind of coming in and being deployed into cities across this nation. Folks in Minneapolis not happy with what they're seeing there. Are there concerns from the people you talked to today that they'll see a similar deployment in our state?
Oh, absolutely, and they've already talked about it. And they talked about what's already been going on, and they said over and over again, the chanting, the protest. Gathering like that, they do that to bring awareness to what's going on, to bring awareness, to stand in solidarity with, sadly, the tragedy that happened up in Minneapolis, but also what's happening here.
Well, certainly they did it in the way they're supposed to, which is peacefully, and they got their voices heard. Lauren Edwards for us live tonight. Thank you. Minneapolis leaders are now blaming the federal government, saying there was little to no communication ahead of the operation. The mayor and governor say they were left in the dark and are demanding answers. Former chief of police for the Detroit Police Department, Ralph Godby, joining us now in studio with some perspective, and it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I want to ask you, there's a couple layers and levels here, but the first one that we'll just leave off where that lead-in led in, which said that the officials there wished that they were in the loop when it came to the federal deployment. Although no local official would want a deployment, what is the right way to do that?
Well, the fact that they wanted to be included in the conversation speaks volumes, because there's a level of coordination that has to happen between state, federal, and local. There's a level of deconfliction that needs to happen as well to make sure that no officers are operating in a way where they can hurt one another or someone innocently can be caught in a crossfire.
All right, I want to stop the lesson here. The point was made. You see, we're seeing uproars of the people in the world. So prophecy is being fulfilled, and it's not going to stop at just Minnesota. You see, martial law is going to happen. You see, sedition among men, invading one another, as the scriptures says. So we're getting close. We're getting close to the end. You see, the end of this empire, the end of this dragon. All right, I'll end the lesson here. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rekakwadash. Shalom.